and we're just gonna walk you down to our office area. And as we're going, we've been in this office complex for at least 8-9 years. And it has been a blessing. There was many times when we couldn't pay our rent. And because of what we do and our property manager believes in us, he would let us stay. And we appreciate that so much. And this is where he is. His name is Tom Thornell. And he's always just been a blessing because he knows when we have it, we pay. And he also knows that we're doing a good work. So we appreciate that. This is our office. It's Suite 108. And I'd like to bring you in. This is where our office assistant sits. In here, this is our financial office. In here, this is our office manager's area. And then in this area, this is our area where, as you can see, we have a lot of blankets. In the winter months, it's really cold, and we do get things donated, and this is the area that we allow the families to come in and get whatever they need. Okay. And then right in here, this is my office. And I thank the Lord, my mom is visiting with us, and whenever she comes, she straightens things up. She's a faithful volunteer. Okay. And this is our conference room. This is where we meet with some of our families. However, when we have monthly support group meetings, we use another conference room that's much larger. My name is Linda Thomas Wade, and I'm the president of the Sickle Cell Association, the Marc Thomas Foundation. Our agency began in 1997 with 3. It was myself, my late husband, and a wonderful lady named Patricia Portley. My late husband and Patricia both suffered from sickle cell disease. Sickle cell disease is a life-threatening hereditary blood disease. These misshapen cells carries less oxygen to various parts of the body, cutting off and destroying that part of the body. There is no cure. Life expectancy is approximately 40 years of age. When we started the agency here in Austin in 1997, there was just the 3 of us. But as we began to go out and talk about sickle cell disease, there were so many other families that was hurting and felt like they had no place to turn. What started with 3, today we continue to serve over 125 families. And we've reached out to over 50,000. Patricia passed away at the age of 33. She was also a dialysis patient due to complications of sickle cell. My late husband and founder, Marc Thomas, suffered from pulmonary hypertension, congestive heart failure, emphysema, bronchiectasis, but he never gave up his fight. He was on oxygen 24 hours a day, but he always would go and encourage families suffering from sickle cell disease. When both of them passed away within 6 months of each other, I felt like I couldn't make it. I didn't know if I wanted to make it. And I got a call from Children's Hospital telling me about one of our favorite little boys was in ICU and they weren't expecting him to make it, but he wanted to see me. When I arrived, his mother met me. We both hugged and cried, and she said he just wanted to tell you, thank you thank you for helping their family and all the families we helped. That's what made a difference for me. Kenneth did pass away, but just to know that a child thought enough about us to say thank you before he passed away, it gave me the strength and the courage to continue on. I don't see our agency as doing great things. I think the Lord has blessed us to do wonderful things with the small resources that we have. But the greatness comes from our families. Those that, even though they receive blood transfusions, hospitalized frequently, they continue to fight. Even when they're faced against many obstacles, being considered drug seekers, or because they look healthy, they are often misjudged in the hospital setting. But they continue on. I am so proud of the work that we do here, because we raise awareness, education, advocacy, referral services, and support for families suffering. We do hospital visits, home visits, care calls. We are here for them. We are a voice for the voiceless. We offer hope and help. There's a few stories that comes to mind when I think about our families. One of our kids is named Ashton. Ashton, because of the number of crises that he had, they really hadn't expected him to be as old as he is. Ashton is in his early 20s. And one thing we told Ashton was, I expect you to go to college. I don't care what your prognosis is. We still expect you to be great. And Ashton only have 3 more classes before he graduates college. And he told me this the other day. He said, Miss Linda, he said, you believed in me when I didn't believe in myself. He said, so many times I wanted to give up because I was sick. He said, and it's been taking so long. He said, but I just have 3 more classes left. That's a success story for many of our families. We have one of our Hispanic families. She has 2 babies, both living with sickle cell disease. Olivia is barely 2 years old and has been hospitalized. Jacob, 4 years old, often has bouts with sickle cell. Crystal talks about all the help and support that we've given, whether it's just a word of encouragement, financial, whatever the help may be. We try to do the best we can with the limited resources. There are so many other families I would like to talk about. We have a young man named Trent. He'll be turning 15. Trent does not fit into the African American category, Hispanic, Italian, Greek, or Asian. Trent is not a person of color. Trent is white, and Trent suffers from sickle cell disease. Sickle cell disease affects all of us. And the more awareness, the more education, and the more support would help all of these families suffering from sickle cell disease. Trent loves camp, because at camp, that's the only place that they could just truly be kids with others that understand what they're going through. The other kids understand having yellowing of the eyes. They understand week-long hospital visits, IV fluids, pain medication, falling behind in school. Sickle cell disease is a very serious condition, and we are the only agency that provides help, resources, and support for our families that's suffering. Please help us to help those that are suffering. We should. The question is asked, does our organization need help and our volunteer efforts? We desperately need help. We've been doing well with the minimum funds that we have, but there's so much more we would like to do. For example, 1 in 12 African Americans carry the silent sickle cell trait. 1 in 36 Hispanics here in Travis County, which is Austin area, carry sickle cell trait. But the problem is no one knows that they're carriers because it does not present itself. There's no often seen complications with sickle cell disease. With support and resources, we could do so much. We could target this at-risk population, letting them know that they carry sickle cell trait. And the test is not very expensive. However, it is for our agency. But after we educate, after we make people aware of their status, we would love to have the opportunity to test. Also, we provide a specialized week-long free summer camp for children suffering from sickle cell disease. That camp costs our agency $500 per camper. And camp is so different from other people, healthy individuals, other kids going to camp. Our kids have to be cleared medically. Many of them have to receive blood transfusions, pain medications, even to go to camp. But the reward of camp is therapeutic, is respite care for their families, and it's just a place where kids could be kids, not being judged and not feeling less than. So those are two great areas that we could really use some support. Also, we could definitely use a little more help. We have some wonderful volunteers and individuals that work for our agency, but really, people work here because of the commitment. And so those are just some of the areas that we could use help with.
Okay. What is the most important message you have taken away from the obstacles you have faced or from helping other people overcome their struggles?
I think one of the most important messages that I've taken away from obstacles in my own life was to encourage the others not to give up. Even in death, you can still have life. Even in adversity and pain and suffering, there will be good days. And that's what I encourage our families to do. Our kids, I tell them, I expect you to grow up. I expect you to go to college. I don't care what it looks like.
And my name is Thalia, and I started working here at the Sickle Cell Association a couple months ago in September. I'm an assistant to Linda, and I just want to say that Linda has been such a great inspiration for me, and this organization has as well. It's only been a couple of months, but I've been truly touched by this organization just because she's a very giving person, a loving person. And I'm gonna cry. I cried in my interview. That's how much I love working here. And just if you meet the families, if you just get to meet them, they go through so much, little things that we just take for granted. They have to go through every day. And just getting to know them, making hospital visits, working with Linda, that just talking to her, she reminds you that God is such a good God, and she brings inspiration to all those families and loves them and all of us here. So I'm stop crying. But yeah, I love working here, and thank you for this opportunity, and we hope to hear from you soon.